it's occurring to me that I'm actually very serious in the morning, or like very philosophical. And that seems weird to me because I'm like a deeply unserious person. Obviously I have thoughts and, you know, feelings on political, societal issues, but I'm not this serious, guys. It's something about filming in the morning that I'm in my brain, you know. I've been left in the silence for 6 hours and I'm just so maybe like throughout the day I get more goofy. I don't know. Or it could be that I've not had any stimulus yet. Like, this is one of the first things I do in the morning. Like, I get dressed, I brush my teeth, maybe I'll have breakfast at a push, and then I'm here. So this is me like untainted. So it makes me wonder if actually life makes me silly. Like, is it one of those you have to laugh or you're gonna cry kind of scenarios, or am I just doing observational humor at every breath? Yeah, just a thought. One of the only thoughts that I have this morning, actually, I've entered this space with kind of nothing going on. I know I started this saying, oh, I have a lot of thoughts on political and societal, and I do, but none that I'm so impassioned by that I feel like I need to share today. My head is kind of in a bunch of different places. I'm feeling quite retrospective on my life at the moment. I've got a reunion coming up from a job that I worked 7 years ago. Time flies. So there's a lot of thought about that, and you know, my life as a whole, and what do I want to be doing. I'm not currently working. I've just come out of one contract, god-awful contract, the worst contract actually that I've ever done. And I have done some great contracts and I've done some horrific contracts. This was the worst. And you know, the worst thing about it is they are still in contact with me, and thank God, because they still haven't paid me my final salary. But they keep on asking me to do a review, and I'm like, guys, you seem to think we had a good relationship because I don't cause fights. You were not worth my energy to fight, but I could not wait. From like day one, I was counting down for this contract to be over, and I'm so pissed about it because I took this contract because they were like, oh, you know, it's only 5 weeks, we'll work around your holiday that you had booked. For those of you that don't know, bar the sort of weird weekend trips that I did while I was working in Beijing, I've not really had like a holiday, like a poolside tropical holiday since 2013. So we booked a holiday. We came back from a 2.5 year contract and we went, you know what, we're gonna have a holiday. And it was great, you know. Wouldn't say it was relaxing. Anyone that was also on that holiday will probably attest to the same thing. It wasn't particularly relaxing. Was it fun? Yes. Was it sort of soul relaxing? Yes. Did I come back feeling more exhausted? Also yes. Anyway, this contract, 5 weeks, some of the worst 5 weeks of my life. The list of reasons goes on and on and on, and I will not bore you with them, but basically did not get on with the person running it. It seems like I'm not the only person who did not get on with this person. Had I known their name, had I been able to Google them, I would not have worked on this contract. But yeah, he was like, I'll work around your holiday, it's only 5 weeks. And I was like, solid, this will see me through until I'm kind of out of this weird purgatory that I'm in at the moment, waiting on a couple of calls, hopefully. And so I took it. 2 days later, I get an offer from a friend to return to a job that I very much enjoyed. That is a long-term, well-paid, fulfilling contract. And I went, no, I'm loyal. I've already signed a contract. I couldn't possibly, he's been so good. He's working around my holiday. Turns out I think he was just desperate because no one will work for this man. He's asking us, so it was myself and someone else working on this project. And throughout the entire tour, he's asking us to cast his next show because immediately he was like, will you do the next one? And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I'm busy. Because I had already, by that point, done a little bit of research. He does have, apparently, touch wood, I have yet to experience it at this level. It's getting there. And if I'm not paid in the next week, I'm going to be joining this group. But there were a lot of conversations about how sometimes he will withhold pay from people, yada, yada. So I was treading very lightly and I was keeping him on side. I was playing the game because I was like, it's only 5 weeks. I'm just going to play the game. So I was like, I'm just busy. And he's like, oh, can you post about it? No, I cannot. I do not want my name linked to recommending the worst job I've ever done. And then beyond that, yeah, he's asking asking both of us to review, and it is push every day. Can you review? And it got to the point where I said, look, until I get paid, I'm not doing anything. Realistically, I will never write a review, because if he really wants me to write a review, it's going to be an honest one, and he's not going to want to post that review. So yeah, that's that. I can't remember how I got onto this. But yeah, feeling retrospective about many things at the moment. And I think it's kind of put me in a meditative state when I wake up. I've been having some weird dreams. I used to keep a dream journal. Anyone that went to school with me will remember this. It was infamous. Mid-puberty dream journal. Crazy stuff. I used to come in every day, and one of my best friends, still very friends with her. We're still very friends. I would come in and we were informed together, so we'd sit together and kind of start our day together. And it would be, I had a cracker last night. We'd open up the dream journal. I was so good about it. I'd wake up, it was diligent. First thing I do, bullet point this dream, because within 5 minutes it's gone. So it was like, kind of half awake, 3 a.m. You wake up to go to the loo. I'm like, wait, turn the light on. But yeah, and I would have treasured that book, because I remember there were some very specific dreams in there. Riding a moped with my geography teacher through the school grounds. Was it my geography teacher? My French teacher. What else was there? I was a big African person riding a lion. Don't know what the symbolism of that was. It was just crazy stuff. A lot of stuff about Charlie McDonnell. Was a big stan. Charlie. Still goes by Charlie. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. It was a fascinating thing, and I would have loved to revisit it, but I used it as a prop in a show at a local Amdram club once. Needed a notebook, and I left it there. So some poor tech has had the time of their life reading this. I hope they enjoyed it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at today. I'm very floaty, retrospective. There's a lot of different projects that I'm working on at the moment. I'm surprisingly busy for someone that's not working. So I'm spread thin mentally, I think. And what it means is when I don't have to be thinking about something, I don't have to be creating something, I'm kind of just existing, which is new for me. But yeah, how are you feeling today? Are you retrospective about anything? Are you deep in the political sphere? Obviously, it's a turbulent time. There's a lot going on. And be silly. If you're able to choose between silliness and deep thought, choose silliness. Choose silliness, guys. Have a good day.